the next budget coming in a few days from now, we find that the farmers across the country are holding big protests. And we also know for more than 50 days, a senior farmer leader has been on a hunger strike at the Khanori border. And very clearly, the government has gone back on each one of the promises that the Swaminathan Commission recommendations that MSP at C2 plus 50 would be given. Also, the later promise of doubling farmers' incomes. And that is a situation in which the farmers are in extreme crisis. And if you look at the 10 years of Narendra Modi-led BJP government, despite many so-called farmer-friendly budgets, we find that more than, according to the National Crime Records Bureau itself, more than 1,12,000 farmers and agriculture workers have committed suicide. And also, there are more than 3,20,000 daily wage workers, actually, those who are migrating from rural areas, from the agrarian backgrounds to the urban areas in search of jobs. They also have committed suicide. So this official figures alone comes to about 5 lakh who have committed suicide. They are actually due to the distress, due to the agrarian distress caused by the policies implemented by this government. And here the numbers are much higher because some states don't reveal the facts, they say there's no farmers' suicides at all. And this does not include tenant cultivators, it does not include landless, the Adivasis, and a large number of women farmers also don't come under it. So effectively, these policies have led to a situation of increasing input costs, increasing costs of production, and low incomes, or because the farmers' produce is not given remunerative prices. That is leading to a situation where farmers are forced into indebtedness, and in unfortunate incident of this huge human tragedy where such a big number, which is unseen and unheard in the entire world, not just in the last decade, but in the entire history of humankind. So this budget, again, there is the indications from the government there has been nothing in favor. There is no talks with the farmers' organizations. We have repeatedly tried all democratic methods, but this government is going ahead with you have some of the steps like the recent draft national policy framework on the agriculture marketing, or other such steps which are trying to bring back the farm acts to the back door. So these are some of the reasons why the farmers are continuing the struggles. And that is something which any sensible government with some sympathy for the large mass of the peasantry who are actually producing the food for our country would actually take into considerations these issues in the budget. In a recent report has pointed out that there is diminishing public investment in agriculture, and India is one of the most dismal conditions in India. A recent report of the OECD has there is it is very much required that there is huge public investment in agriculture and rural development, and that is very much required to ensure that employment is generated under the Rural Employment Guarantee Act. There is more access to credit for the farmers. There is also into more investment in public research institutions rather than try to link up with the corporate companies, big agri-businesses. That is something which has to be changed. This is one step which I would look forward to. Secondly, a separate allocation to ensure that the legal guarantee of MSP at the rate of C2 plus 50 is there, that is very much required, which has to be accompanied by investment to ensure expansion of the procurement mechanism, public procurement, public stock holding, and including cold storages and so on, because it's not just the case of food grains, but there are also the horticultural crops and so on, which should be done under the public sector. This is the second thing which I would that a legal guarantee for MSP with assured procurement. Thirdly, there is also the importance of loan waiver. We are having a situation where, like during the British period, there used to be this saying that Indian farmer is born in debt, lives in debt, and dies in debt. So that is the situation where these policies, neoliberal economic policies, have created. So there has to be a loan waiver, not just for the landed peasantry, but also the tenant cultivators. That is very much a required. Tenant cultivators and agriculture labor. The Kerala LDF government's model of a debt relief commission to ensure that people who are indebted are given relief. That is something which also could be considered. There is also the need for ensuring the subsidies for agricultural inputs. This has to be coupled with the withdrawal of uh, the deregulation which has taken place earlier of the input sector, and price control has to be fixed so that the farmers get these quality inputs at affordable rates. Now it is the big corporate companies who are only interested in enhancing their profits, maximizing their profits, who are fixing the farm gate prices. So there is no price control. The government controls have been removed. So subsidies for agricultural inputs along with price control, that is something which I would look forward to. Again, the fifth uh, issue I would like to bring to notice is that this entire talk of the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi, as well as the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi is giving 6,000 rupees per farmer per year. That also, the numbers initially were claimed 14 crore, but that has come down in a big way. I think there is need for a huge increase in this, and people often tend to ask from where will such funds be generated for loan waivers, for support for Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi and such kind of programs. I think the taxing the corporates who have been benefiting lakhs of crores in terms of waivers, that is very well tax is something which taxing the rich, that is very much required to overcome the present situation, and along with the issue of covering the farmers, all farmers, including tenant cultivators, who don't benefit in terms of the loans, institutional loans. They don't benefit in terms of insurance or other subsidies, including the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi kind. That they also, the tenant cultivators, should be brought under its ambit. There is also need for a substantial price stabilization fund, especially because the horticultural crops and other commercial crops, they are directly linked with the world market prices. Here, also the penchant for signing different free trade agreements, that is also hampering the condition of our farmers. So I think if these set of policies are implemented, the condition of our farmers will change. The entire discourse of agrarian crisis and farmers' suicides, that can be at least mitigated, and there could be better livelihood security for the farmers.